came into this game with a World Series ERA of 1. One ball, one strike. One and one to Ray. Ball two. Fastball and a one-hopper into center. Base hit for Knight. The Ray bangs one up the middle with 2 down, and Kevin Mitchell coming up.
Here's a pitch that Ray Knight hits. It looked like a fastball. It was a fastball. Got a 3-run lead. Hurst, he wants to stay away from the base on balls. He challenged Knight, and he lost.
Kevin Mitchell with Rafael Santana on deck. Bruce Hurst is trying to win his 3rd game of the World Series, and that doesn't happen very often. It has happened 12 times in history, but only 4 times since 1920. Harry Brackeen, Lou Burdette, Bob Gibson, Mickey Lolich. Dropped in there. Strike. 3 runs, 5 hits for John McNamara's band. No runs, 1 hit for the Mets. Check swing and a roller wide to first to Buckner. He will do it himself. So the Mets, no runs, a hit. They leave 1. It's 3-0 Boston at the end of 2. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Tonight's game is brought to you by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time, and by New York Life to help you get the most out of your life. The Red Sox got the most out of the 2nd inning to enjoy a 3-0 lead. Jim Rice, Dwight Evans, and Rich Gedman coming up now against Ron Darling. And the curveball is whacked to left. Going back on the ball is Mitchell, and it short hops the wall. Rice for 2. The throw in. They got him.
Mitchell knows the ball's over his head. He plays the carom just perfectly, and keeping with the motif of running on the outfielders, Mitchell uncorks a strong throw, and Tuffle makes the tag on Rice. Look at Wendelstedt on both knees making that call. You talk about being in position.
So a base hit to left at the base of the left field wall. 7-4 of your scoring from Kevin Mitchell to Tim Tuffle.
That was your classic hanging curveball.
Boy,
it just hung up there.
Breaking ball up. Dwight Evans the batter. And it is apparent in the early going from the moment that Wade Boggs opened the game with the line drive at Santana that it is a shaky start for Ron Darling, although there is no one throwing in the bullpen.
He's only had 1 pitch going for him so far. It's been that hard sinker, and he's really had to spot it because when he got to Evans, he was sitting on it and boomed it.
There's a breaking ball lifted to straightaway, shallow center. Mookie Wilson there. 2 down.
Now coming to the plate.
That'll bring up Rich Gedman, who hit the home run in and out of Darryl Strawberry's glove in the 2nd inning and turned it from a 1-run inning to a 3-run inning. And you might remember throughout the series we told you how Darling and Gedman battled each other in high school, and finally Gedman has hit one. Strike. On deck, Dave Henderson.
Never seen so many players with that stubble like we got now. Hernandez didn't shave. Gedman hasn't shaved.
It's the Sampson theory, I guess. Ground ball back to first. Keith will bring it to the bag. So thanks to the strong and accurate throw of Kevin Mitchell, the Sox are gone in order. And at the end of 2.5, 3-0 Boston. We're going to the bottom of the third inning at Shea Stadium in New York. The Red Sox 3, the Mets nothing. Rafael Santana will start it off. Then Ron Darling and Mookie Wilson. And of course all that went down like broken glass in the second inning. Ball one. During the regular season, the Mets gave left-handers a bad time, but not in the World Series against Bruce Hurst. Ball two. In the regular season, they beat left-handers 27 times and lost to them only 11. It's better than 700 ball. In there. 2-1. So Hurst trying for his place in the history books, and the Mets trying to come back. Fouled off. 2-2.
See how nice he was? He asked Gedman, are you all right? He got a foul tip. If that ball would have laid in front of home plate, they would have checked the ball, but the pitcher's worried about the catcher.
2-2. Fouled away. Of course, he hit a home run.
That's when they're really nice to you.
3 runs, 6 hits for Boston. No runs, 1 hit for the Mets. A 2-out single by Ray Knight. After that pitch, and down he goes. So Santana becomes strikeout number 1 for Bruce Hurst.
Looked like a breaking ball. It was not that big overhand curveball that he throws. It could have been that fork ball. It broke down off speed. When he throws that slow, big breaking curveball, he really gets those hitters out in front.
There is Ron Darling. And he drives one to right and deep. Evans was shallow. He's on the track to make the catch. And Darling, who is considered a pretty good hitting pitcher, takes Hurst a long way. 2 down. Now Mookie Wilson will use up a little time to let Darling get back to the dugout. Mookie grounded out. First ball swinging. He rolled it to Marty Barrett, leading off the first inning.
To kill time. Ask the umpire how your family's doing. Anything.
And Buckner had made a trip to the mound. Tim Tuffle on deck. A little high with a fastball. Ball 1. Two and 0. Well, what a long year. The Mets won 115 games along the way. The Sox 102, and it has come down to tonight. Fouled off. 2-1. Fastball hit to right. Evans going back. Full turn. Makes the play. So Mookie takes him deep, but they're gone in order are the Mets, and at the end of 3, Red Sox 3, Mets nothing. You don't really have to be a crowd psychologist to realize the spirit of the crowd. That was a fever pitch when they were chanting when Marty Barrett was hitting. That sing-song is gone. Now they're sitting quietly as the Sox took that 3-0 lead in the second inning. If you are a statistician, it might be interesting to note the crowd perhaps has the same feeling as you have. During the regular year, the Mets won 80% of the games that they scored first in, and they're 3-0 in games in which they scored first in postseason. But it's the Sox on top 3-0, and here is Dave Henderson. He walked and came around to score in the second inning. Then Owen and Hurst. And hit him. So Henderson trots to first with nobody out. Owen coming up.
And by comparison, as far as the number of pitches, as we watch Henderson get drilled, Darling has made 57 pitches. He had 55 after 3 innings. Hurst in 3 innings, 29 pitches.
So Darling, a shaky early going and a strong performance by Bruce Hurst. And you have Owen, Hurst, and Boggs coming up. Sid Fernandez is up for the second time in the Mets bullpen, although Darling did have his at bat in the third inning. Though it is Fernandez they look to in the early going and not Dwight Gooden. Spike Owen popped to short in the second inning. Little pop fly to Rafael Santana.
Knight is really looking for bunt in tight at third.
And instead he hits it right at Strawberry. 1 away. Henderson holding, and Bruce Hurst, who sacrificed in the second inning, no doubt has to do it again here in the fourth.
And a third baseman Knight and first baseman Hernandez setting up the defense. As we saw the last time, Knight really charged hard. The ball got by him, and Hernandez, who as always he sets up whether he's going to come charging in or come in a couple steps and go back on a particular pitch. He'll be 2-3 pitches into the hitter Hurst, but Knight is already in about 5 steps. It's going to be a tough job for Hurst to get him over.
And if Hurst does get him over, once again Davy Johnson will have to wonder about even pitching at all to Boggs. Never mind, don't give him anything good to hit. He hit a ball off his ankles for a base hit and an RBI. There's the bunt, and Knight has to go to first. Now let's see what they do with Boggs.
And it can't be that situation that so many times you hear when you go out on a conference on the mound is don't give him any ball to hit.
Davy Johnson on his way, and he's making a hook right now. So Sid Fernandez is going to be called in from the Mets bullpen, and Ron Darling has had it. So they pitched to Boggs in the second inning, and he burned them. He will not be burned again, and Darling is gone. 3-0 Boston. Ron Darling went 3 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, a walk, and a hit batter. And of course the runner at second base, Dave Henderson, is also his responsibility. Sid Fernandez will be coming in, making his 3rd appearance of the World Series. He's worked 4 1/3 innings, an earned run average of 2. It is a calculated gamble, sending Fernandez head to head with the leadoff man Wade Boggs. Sid has an above average fastball. He is considered, however, a poor fielder. Wade Boggs against Darling, lined out to short, and then when they pitched to him, even though Darling threw a ball that was somewhere between the ankles and the knees, Boggs went right down after it and singled to center for an RBI.
And it's no great secret that Boggs really waits a long time before he turns that bat loose, and if you think he does that against right-handed pitching, it's a little bit more, it seems like, against left-hand pitching. He usually takes him to the opposite field, and they'll set the defense up accordingly.
So Sid Fernandez, who pitched very, very well, impressively, in fact, in relief of Dwight Gooden. That was in the Hurst game at Fenway Park. Now going head-to-head with Wade Boggs. 4-1. Again, we are watching Henderson. He had such a big lead in the second inning. He was almost halfway to third as the pitcher was delivering the ball, and yet he knows he can get back to the bag. You see him run right out of your picture.
And once again, Mookie in center field is far more shallow than Dykstra would be as we look at Henderson. Look how shallow he is in left center field. They'll take off on the base hit.
2-0. Fouled off. 2-1. Boston 3, Mets nothing. 2 out, top of the 4th inning.
Tell you, when you stack your defense like that, you better pitch that he hits that way. If he gives him anything slow, he'll pull it. Hernandez is way over.
Remember, the base hit was to the left of Santana. In there. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out to Wade Boggs. Henderson at second. Spun the curveball. 3-2.
He made sure that thing wasn't close, though.
And this time in under the hands to put him on. So Boggs walks, and that'll bring up Marty Barrett. And for Davy Johnson, he opted to pitch to Boggs. It cost him a run in the second. Then he made the move to take Darling out and bring in Fernandez, and he still lost Boggs on the walk. Barrett flied to right and had the bunt single in the second inning. Marty is 1 for 2. Ray Knight very deep at third. He is not looking for Barrett to do it again. Not with 2 on and 2 out. Right.
They just moved Mitchell over. Mitchell was playing Barrett as if to pull, and Mookie Wilson, as you can see, the defense is way over in right center field. A lot of room in left center field. They're stacking it on the right side. They expect him to hit that way. Then it'll be up to Fernandez to keep that ball in that outside part of the plate.
0-1. Henderson can't take the lead with Barrett up there that he was able to take with Boggs, because now Santana is almost behind him. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We really haven't seen a lot of bird dogging by the infielders, though. A lot of ball clubs, many times, you just bird dog the guy back, not so much to pick him off, but to cut his lead down, to maybe you get a play at the plate on the base hit.
One and 1. Off speed for a strike. A lot of motion, and then the soap bubble, and the count 1-2.
And laid it right on the outside corner.
At first base, Wade Boggs. Dave Henderson at second. 2 out. Two and 2. Red Sox left a runner in the first inning and 2 more in the second. Fernandez trying to get him off the hook here in the 4th. Curveball hit to Strawberry. So the Sox lead 2. They have left 5. And at the end of 3.5 innings, the Red Sox 3, the Mets nothing. 3-0 Boston, bottom of the 4th. And the Mets trying to get something started with Tim Tuffle, Keith Hernandez, and Gary Carter. They have just 1 hit, a single to center by Ray Knight, and that came with 2 out in the second inning. Of course, if you remember Saturday night in that wild game, the Mets were no-hitted for the first 4 innings. Tuffle popped up to the right side to Marty Barrett in his first at-bat. One ball, 1 strike.
That's the first big curveball that he's thrown, where he really rainbows it up there.
And followed by the fastball for a strike. 1-2. And another fastball, and the count remains 1-2. He joined us late in the second inning. The Red Sox had back-to-back home runs by Dwight Evans and Rich Gedman. Gedman's ball in and out of Strawberry's glove. Henderson walked, and a 2-out single by Boggs made it 3-0. And a big overhand pitch takes care of him. For Hurst, his second strikeout.
He's got 3 pitches, and he's not afraid to go to any of them. He just changed speeds on the breaking ball. He's way out in front.
So 1 down in the 4th. Keith Hernandez, the batter, hit the ball hard, but at Dave Henderson in the first inning. On deck, Gary Carter. One ball and no strikes. Outfield about as straight away as you can play a hitter. In there at the knees. 1-1.
Seems like Hernandez has made up his mind to hit up the middle in Saturday's game. Fly ball to center field, single to center, fly ball to center field. His first time up, a line drive. He tomahawked it to center field. Appears that when you do that, you're just hanging in there a little bit longer.
1-1. And the curveball is hit to right center. Evans is digging to make the catch. The Dwight Evans has made 3 of the last 4 putouts.
That was a slow curveball, and you can see Hernandez really wait for the break and then jump all over it and hit it hard, but Evans was there to make the play.
Here's Gary Carter, who led off the second inning and tried to bunt his way aboard.
Watch the curveball, and he just hits it very hard, but Evans been very busy. Really almost made it a routine play.
Ball 1 to Gary Carter. And he was looking fastball, and he was a little bit out in front of it. 1-1. 3-0 Boston. 4th inning, 2 out, bases empty.
Started to say, man, you can almost scout Carter by watching television. Outside part of the plate, changing speeds, just keeping it out there from the middle of the plate over.
1-1. And he hits that pitch over to Marty Barrett. And so Carter is gone, the Mets are gone, and that's 7 in a row retired by Bruce Hurst. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Gedman is the 4th man in the inning, but here's what Fernandez did against Gedman in Boston. When they talk about climbing the ladder with a fastball, watch this. That was about letter high. Now here's the second strike, a little bit higher. Now you got him set up. Here's the 3rd one. He just climbed it perfectly.
Well, we'll see when Rich comes up. He's due to bat 4th in the inning. Just first how Fernandez pitches him again and whether Gedman has learned anything. Bill Buckner single to right and lined out to center. 1 for 2. Right. 3-0 Boston. Top of the 5th inning. Buckner, Rice, and Evans. High fly ball to right field. Strawberry is there, looking up into that soup. 1 away.
As you watch Fernandez pitch, you got to know that his motion is a big part of his effectiveness. It seems like he falls forward after he releases the ball, but that really isn't the case.
When he pitched in the Dodger organization and briefly with the Dodgers, he curled up so much on the mound it really looked like he was throwing uphill, and the first thing Mel Stottlemyre did was make him stand a little more erect. Oh boy, you talk about a first ball fastball hitter being challenged. That was reduced to the fundamentals. Hit it.
He had it in a pretty good spot.
He struck Rice out in one inning of work of this year's All-Star game, and he has him 0-2.
I wonder if he'll do what he did with Gedman. That was about letter high, if he's going to climb that ladder with him.
0-2 to Jim. Got him. He just blew him away. That is the first Sox player to strike out, Jim Rice. And with 2 down, bases empty, the batter is Dwight Evans. It is 3-0 Boston, but when you look back at that second inning, if Strawberry had held on to the ball, it would be 1-0 Boston. Darrell unable to make the great catch. And the Sox turned it into a 3-run inning. Off speed for a strike. Evans home run in the second inning, fly to center in the third. Spinner in there for a strike. 0-2.
He changed speeds on both pitches, the straight change, and then he took something off the curveball after just throwing nothing but fastballs to Jim Rice.
0-2. Got it. And that brings the crowd to its feet, and we'll see if a Mets pitcher can wake up the Mets hitters. 3-0 Boston. Because of its importance, here's another look at the great effort by Strawberry. He's gloved it, and it's popped out, and he looks in his mitt to find out it wasn't there. It would have taken a great play, and he came as close as you can come to making it. And now he leads it on. So Fernandez has awakened the crowd by striking out Rice and Evans. We'll see now as Strawberry leads on. Right. Strawberry flied to left in the second inning. 0-1 to Darrell.
And you can see that Hurst is giving it just a little bit extra. He wants to strike out here because he knows that that'll just stop a lot of things with a strikeout.
Ball 2. The most successful Mets hitter against left-handers is on deck. Ray Knight. Big overhand curve missed. Ball 3. If you remember Saturday night, Strawberry had 2 big walks. High fly ball into right center, but Henderson says he has it, and he's true to his word. Long out, 1 away. The dimensions here, 338 down the lines to 358, 371, and then 396, and that was the neighborhood where Strawberry just hit it. 410 to straightaway center. But it's a graveyard out there, especially without any wind. But we saw both Evans and Gedman hit him out tonight in the second inning. Ray Knight singled for the Mets' only hit. Whether it's indicative of anything, it should be pointed out. The Mets have had some long drives by Darling, Wilson, Hernandez, and now Strawberry. 1 ball, no strike. In there. Kevin Mitchell on deck. One and one. Hit off the end of the stick foul, and the count 1-2.
Well, as you can see, the football Giants against the Redskins, same score as we got here, 3-0, just starting the second quarter.
Think Washington has any hits?
I don't know.
At least one.
Gotta have one.
1-2 to Ray Knight. Fastball 2-2. We're in the fifth. 3-0 Boston. 1 out, bases empty. Hurst has retired 8 in a row. Bouncer over the mound, charging Spike Owen. Gets him. It's 9 in a row, and it'll bring up Mitchell. Mitchell grounded to Buckner in the second inning. Fouled off. 0-1. Those who were there at the moment said in that wild madcap scene in the Mets dressing room following Saturday night's game, the one player who was completely calm was Kevin Mitchell. 1-1. It was Kevin who scored the run on the wild pitch. Ground foul to Buddy Harrelson, and the count 1-2. Waiting his turn on deck, Rafael Santana. Fastball fouled off to the right, out of play. Still 1-2.
Hurst is really spotting the ball well, in and out, up and down. Great control of the location of the pitch. When you talk to a scout about that, they say, well, he's got good control of the strike zone.
Foul back. Bruce Hurst leading 3-0 in the fifth. Got him. And so whatever momentum built up in the top of the fifth when Rice and Evans struck out has been dampened considerably. Tonight's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by the makers of Prestone 2 Antifreeze. Don't push your luck, change it with fresh Prestone.
Gedman leads off, and remember we showed you our game within a game. The last time Fernandez pitched against him, it was high fastball. Started him about the letters and just kept climbing that ladder. Let's see what he does this time.
And remember too that Gedman has the reputation of being a high ball hitter.
Identical. Right at the letters. See if he comes back a little bit higher.
No balls, 1 strike. Ron Darling went 3 2/3 innings, charged with 3 runs, 6 hits. 0-2.
So far, it looks like an instant replay.
Got him. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts for Sid Fernandez. Jim Rice and Dwight Evans in the fifth. Gedman to open up the sixth.
He didn't quite climb the ladder, but he stayed with his fastball, sidearm. He made Gedman give a little bit, a tough pitch to hit, and he got the big strikeout.
Here's Dave Henderson, walked and hit by a pitch. Looking ahead, Sid Fernandez is due to be the second batter in the bottom of the 6th inning, but there is no one throwing in the Mets bullpen. Santana, Fernandez, and then Wilson are due up in the bottom of the 6th. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's got to be tough to pick up. He's one of those pitchers, I'm sure when they go back to the bench and say, hey, he's quicker than he looks. That ball's in on you.